Hello guys, I'm Ori and I was rejected from my dream art school. Let's talk about my rejected portfolio. So, hello again, I'm Ori. I'm an artist and I write a paranormal and psychological webcomic titled Radka. It's about a girl with the evil kind of eating problems. Oh, and yes, I've just been rejected from my dream school. I've applied for the most prestigious art school in our country for the animation course. The admission process had 3 rounds. For the first one, we had to make a 3 to 4 page comic with basket as the theme, and then submit our portfolio with it. You either passed or got eliminated. I've passed the first round. The second one was a test and an interview. We had to bring our sketchbooks to the interview because they were curious about our work process. Luckily, I've passed the second round as well. The third round was a lot more complicated. On the first day, we had to draw a lot on plein air. On the second, we had to work in groups, and on the third, we had another interview where we had to add extra works to our portfolio. And that round was where I failed, actually. Honestly, I have a few ideas on why that might have happened, but we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to yap about my portfolio because I worked hard on it and I wanted to show it to someone because although I got rejected and know that I need to improve, I feel like I've given my all and am still very proud of it. I want to be able to look back next year if I get accepted and see how far I've come. So yes, I'm going to reapply next year, and until then I'm going to an art academy where I will also study animation. Anyways, let's get into the video. For the first round, we had to make 4 sheets. The first one was with studies, the second one was with characters, the third one was with backgrounds, and the fourth one was a creative one where we could do whatever we wanted. We also had to make the short comic, and we could optionally include an animation showreel, which I also did. So this is my first sheet. I'm going to include close-ups of the drawings because all of these were drawn on paper. First, this portrait with hands. This one was made with gouache and charcoal, I believe, and it's on an A3 paper. So it's not that big, but it's not small either. I'm kind of proud of this one. I really like the contrast of the colors and the hands, and I like how realistic the hands have turned out. I like how the texture for the skin came out, and I also like the texture on the painted parts. I know it's not as realistic, but I think it's still nice. The second ones are these skulls. I mean, it's the same skull, just from 2 sides. This was done with charcoal on A3 paper. It's just a realistic skull. I wanted to draw one because I've never drawn a skull before. Yeah, I don't know. The third one are these hands. These were drawn on a really large paper. There are actually 5 pairs of hands on it, but I only included the 3 best ones because the other 2 aren't that great. The first one was made with watercolor, the second one was made with pastels, and the third one was made with charcoal. Also, here are some croquis. I mean, the one with the dancers aren't actually croquis. They took me around half an hour to do, or like 20 minutes. I don't know. They were made on A3 paper, and they were done with oil pastels. I really love oil pastels, actually. I think they're just quite nice to use. I don't know. It takes me back to my childhood, and it still looks cool, so I love it. And this piece is big still life I've made last summer with things in my room. Last summer I was almost hospitalized, so that's why there's some medicinal stuff on there, because I had to take it because I was really weak and I for some reason I really liked how it looks, so I just put it on the small table next to my books I was reading and some little pet shops and graffiti and Dior lip glosses and the bow. I don't know, it's just a weird assortment of things, and I really like the contrast of the random items on there. And this isn't perfect. I know it could be improved a lot, but this was my first still life with charcoal, and I don't know. I think it turned out nicely. It's yes, it's not perfect, but it's like good, I guess. So the second sheet is this one with the characters. This is not a regular character sheet because they were more curious about how we do concepts and stuff like that, how we can make the characters come to life, not just make like turnarounds and expressions, but we had to include as much stuff as we could on a single sheet. That's why it looks so all over the place, and that is why there's only one turnaround and like random stuff thrown around on it. 5 of the characters are from one story I've come up with. They have a little world in my head, and I want to do something with their story one day. I don't know yet when, but they've grown really close to my heart. Also, I probably will include some footage of their first concepts. But actually, fun fact, the pink-haired girl was an OC I came up with in 8th grade. So she's quite old. I just redid her design, and the deer and tiger are just 2 random characters I kind of designed. I really love how the deer turned out, and I also have an animation I'm going to show later with her. So yeah, this is my character sheet. Now my favorite part, backgrounds. I love backgrounds. I really enjoy doing them. I don't know what's about blah. I think they're my forte. I don't know, I just love getting lost in the details, and I don't even know what to say about them. So this first piece is the room of the main character from my webcomic, Radka. This is the full picture. I kind of had to chop it a bit down for it to be able to fit on this page because the sizing was kind of off. The second one is where the cafe Radka works at is located. This is another piece from my webcomic. I used this concept art in there for like 2 pages, I think. So if you read my comic, you'll probably know this scene. And the third one is Radka's best friend's room, aka Vlad's room. You already know Vlad if you read my comic, but this is the first time we're going to go into his room. I mean, in the next chapter. Wink wink, please read it. I will stop with the self-promotion now, okay, sorry. The fourth piece is the cat witch's kitchen. That lady is actually a cat witch, and we were able to see her on the character sheet, and that's her little cat. They don't have any names yet, but the whole idea behind this concept was making an old-looking kitchen with a bunch of herbs and antique furniture, and like imagining that a grandma who's also a witch lives there. So she's got all these amazing cookies and a bunch of flowers and herbs she can use for her potions, and like a big pot with a big fire, but it's like also kind of messy because she has a cat and cats make a mess, and I don't know, this was a very fun piece to draw. So this last piece is also concept art for the 2 characters from the last page. It's Philomena and the little girl, and in front of the cat witch's house, she has to babysit the little girl, and they don't really get together, and that's what I kind of wanted to express on this page, how the little girl is fascinated by the fish and Philomena is just sitting there like, oh my god, shut up. So yeah, it's like a fantasy setting I wanted to make. I don't believe that it comes across that this is a witch's house, but it's like I kind of haven't decided on how it will look in the end, but this was just the first concept of it. And the last page is our like creative page. On here I kind of included some claymation figures I made. It's another witch character and her little cat, and a dragon design I've made. This dragon character is the first claymation character I've made after watching an actual tutorial on how to make characters. The first one was kind of like, oh, let's just do it, and I did it and didn't really think thoughts while doing it, so I don't know. And also there are a bunch of paper cutouts. So this was my animation showreel. The first little animation was like a moving background. Yes, the little bunny wakes up, but like she wasn't the main focus while doing this. It was actually to make the background come to life, and that's why a bunch of stuff are moving around. The second one is an animation morph, a bunny into an acorn. Nothing much to say about it, but you can loop it and it goes on forever. The third one was a little cat that I've had to animate to a sound which you can't hear but it goes kind of like yeah, that was an accurate representation of the sound, but it kind of moves to it, and that's why the water splashes all over. The next one was a transformation for Philomena, where she transforms from a normal girl into a magical girl because, spoiler alert, she's a magical girl. All of them are magical girls. Oh my god, I've spoiled my whole story. You didn't hear me. Anyways, the next one is like moving background again. I really like it because it feels so alive and it's just so cool. Also, this was very heavily inspired by Yoon's work. I really enjoy everything she makes. Yoon, if you don't know her full name is Victoria Vincent. She studied at CalArts, my other dream school where I won't be able to go to. And here's another loopable animation and a morphe thingy. It's a bunny and her brain turns into a Rubik's Cube because we had to animate something with the Rubik's Cube theme. And the next one is a paper cutout animation. The one I told you about before that I made with the deer. This is why her character was really thought out, because I really wanted her to come to life. I don't know, I really love her visuals, and I love the contrast within the red world and the little blue deer. I think it turned out really nicely, but I kind of messed up the process, so it was a really long time to like make it. It was really annoying. And the last shot was Philomena once again while transforming, but this is where her transformation got stuck at, and I never continued this. Maybe one day I will, but I have to continue the story as well. And this is the short comic I've made with basket as theme. So the whole idea behind this was that the dream fairy collects nightmares in her basket and then sets them free, so the people have nicer dreams and every problem gets solved because the dream fairy came and like solved them somehow. And all of the little dreams have baskets as a theme. Like the first dream is a little girl whose little kitten was put in a basket and swam down the river in the basket, and she's trying to catch her. The second dream is about a vegan whose shopping basket is filled with meat products. And the third dream is well, this is more abstract because it's a veteran soldier who has an army standing behind him with baskets as hats, because my opinion, old soldier hats kind of look like baskets, and they have pastries and picnic stuff as weapons. And then all the dreams are solved because of the dream fairy, and then she lets out all of the nightmares from her basket. This is it. I don't know, I kind of came up with this idea randomly, and I think what made me pass the first round was how strong the visuals were with this comic. I still am very proud of it. Now let's get into the extra stuff I've had to make for my portfolio. The first piece is another character sheet where I also included some clay characters. They were made with air dry clay and also little fake pearls. The jellyfish can be moved around and animated. I wanted to make them a whole background and an aquarium and everything, but unfortunately I didn't have the time to finish it. And also a bunch of fish characters. Most of these are based on real fish, not all of them though, but I kind of just picked out my favorite fish and drew them and like made them all glowy. I kind of like where my style is sitting at right now, so I don't know, I just love their stylization. The next sheet was even more backgrounds. These two are my favorite backgrounds I have ever drawn, especially the one with the floaty and the little girl. I think with these ones, the progress I've made with backgrounds really comes through. I honestly don't know what to really say about them. With the first one, I've had the idea of the jellyfish falling in love with the tower of the church that has sunken, because I don't know, the tower of the church kind of looks like the head of a jellyfish. I feel like, I know that this whole story doesn't really come across, but that was the idea behind the picture. And the second one is just, it was the beginning of summer and I was in a summery mood, and I wanted to draw something very, very summery, and I did just that. And the last page of my portfolio, the first one is like a little concept of Filomena's kitchen with her friends. Filomena is also eating Napolitana ice cream, and there's a bunch of stuff lying around, and there's the cats again. And the last drawing is Filomena and the little girl finding a mermaid on the shore of this. Much else to say about it. I just drew this really fast and I loved how it turned out, so I included it in the portfolio. Yeah, I think this drawing took me around 3 hours, which is quite fast for me. I usually take a lot of time by drawing. This was the last animation for my portfolio. It was completely based off of Emma's song Irresponsible. I myself have ADHD. I relate to this song very heavily. I kind of wanted to make it all over the place and like have things morphing around and make it have fast cuts, because like your brain keeps jumping around. And also there's this whole line about her never growing up, and I wanted to express it with her being there as a little girl with her kitten plushie, and then her sitting in her own bedroom, and the kitten plushie has grown up, but like she's kind of still the same. So that was my rejected portfolio. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other stuff. Once again, I'm Ori, a webcomic artist, as you guys saw. Don't forget to check out Radka on WEBTOON. Please do it. I'm very sad because I was rejected. Please do me this favor. I'm kidding, you don't have to, but that would be nice. Anyways, if you like my art, consider following me on Instagram, WEBTOON, Twitter, or any social media you like to use. I'm Articon almost everywhere, but I link my profiles in the description. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye!